roll next to we got a few minutes before our 20 break. And I want to talk about house appreciation. David and Arnie Diaz, Waterstone Mortgage, are on the show with us today. And we talked about this last week and about how it changes the market, how it changes people's perspective about being able to buy when home values. Arnie's got a report here, I think, from Zillow, and I'll let you talk on it, Arnie, if you want. The market price is up 10, 12, 14%. And, I'm going to let you take it from here and kind of talk about what we spoke a little bit about last week.
Yeah, Andrew, I think that people seem to have a hard time forgetting, and we all went through a tough time at the end of the 2000s with home appreciations and so forth. And in fact, it dropped quite a bit. And some of us don't really understand that it's really coming back. And so I actually got Zillow, and you can go on Zillow's website yourself and pick this stuff up. But actually, they came into town recently, and they showed here just in the last year over year, in Tampa, we've had an 8.4% appreciation rate. Okay, now some areas have a higher appreciation rate than others, and so that's why you need to get somebody like Andrew to come out to the house and evaluate your house to make sure you know exactly how much your house is worth before you consider buying. But you need to take a look at that stuff, and that helps not only when you're thinking about maybe selling the house, but also maybe thinking about refinancing, because as you know, most loans go off of the value of the house, and you may have mortgage insurance on the house that we possibly could take off for you by refinancing. You may have money built up now in the house that you can maybe pay yourself back some of this Christmas expense that you wanted to that you spent,
Yeah.
So you can look at that. Maybe you have money in the house that you want to, or maybe you want to add on to the house and do some renovations to the house. Maybe it's a good time to look into that. So I think it's time to maybe just analyze where you're at as far as your appreciation is concerned, and maybe decide, how could I take advantage of that? Is this a good time for me to sell? Is this a good time for me to refinance? Or maybe just wait. I personally have a home right now, and we're looking at that option. I'm making that option right now. I'm renting the home out, and rents are going up.
Yeah.
And
I know a really good realtor.
Yeah. and so my tenant my tenant is actually concerned that I'm going to sell the house, so he's willing to up his rent just so he don't have to move. So rents are like going crazy as far as escalating here. So that's good if you own a home and you're an investor, and you're renting, but it's bad if you're the tenant.
Right.
Maybe it's time to take a look at maybe owning your own home.
Well, just on the appreciation piece, also what we're seeing a lot right now with refinances is people that have FHA mortgages that put just a little down payment and have these seemingly high mortgage insurance rates are refinancing out of that.
Because FHA's mortgage rates are very high.
FHA's mortgage rates
or private mortgage insurance rates.
So they've raised them 5 times in like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
They used to be very low, and if you got it before 2009, very, very low. But if you got it after 2009, chances are your MIP rate is probably pretty high.
So you can refinance and get out of that into like a
conventional with no PMI or a much lesser PMI if you don't quite have that 20% worth of.
So we're going to continue the conversation. We're going to talk about refinancing and some of the options you have with that based on price appreciation. Whether or not you think about upgrading, selling and moving up, that's a great opportunity when values have risen. And also it's an opportunity you should take advantage of when values are rising, because the value of the home, if you're moving up, the value of that home is increasing at a greater clip than your lower price home. So we're going to talk about that after a quick break here on the Duncan Duo Show.